All right, let's get right into this. What we're about to break down is one of the most masterful pitch letters I have ever seen. It was sent to SpaceX by some mysterious inventor calling themselves NUX'S, and it claims to have a solution for one of their single biggest challenges. But here's the catch. Instead of revealing the secret, it uses this incredible strategy to make itself absolutely impossible to ignore. Trust me, this isn't just about rockets. It's a masterclass in how you pitch a world-changing idea.
This one sentence. This is the entire key to the mystery. You see, NUX is making a really sharp distinction here. A physics limitation, well, that's like running into a brick wall. Think gravity. You can't really argue with it. But a system architecture assumption, that's something else entirely. That's a choice, a decision somebody made, maybe decades ago. It's the blueprint everyone's been following, maybe without ever stopping to ask why. This one question just brilliantly reframes an impossible problem into a puzzle that just might be solvable.
Now, to really appreciate the genius of this pitch, you have to understand the stakes. I mean, getting Starship to Mars and back again. It's not just about building a giant rocket. It's about making space travel so cheap and so routine that it becomes commonplace. And every single bit of inefficiency, every wasted second, every extra drop of fuel, it all compounds into a massive problem. And as you'll see, NUX knows this inside and out.
So right off the bat, this is not a cold email. Not even close. This is a precision-guided missile. NUX starts by talking about problems that the CEO, Elon Musk himself, has talked about in public. That immediately sends a signal. Hey, I've done my homework, I know your exact pain points, and I'm not here to waste your time. It just establishes instant credibility.
Before they even hint at a solution, NUX does something really smart. They build a bridge. They lay out these 4 constraints, 4 fundamental truths about operating Starship that they know the team at SpaceX deals with every single day. This isn't NUX trying to lecture SpaceX. This is NUX saying, look, we see the world the same way. We're both staring at the same hard problem.
And here we go. This is the secret handshake. First principles thinking is, famously, Elon Musk's entire philosophy. It's how he builds companies. So by framing the entire proposal around this concept, NUX is showing that they don't just have an idea, they have the right way of thinking. They are literally speaking the native language of SpaceX's innovation culture.
Okay, so this is where it gets really clever. NUX doesn't give the game away, no way. Instead, they use this series of perfectly worded Socratic questions to guide the reader's mind, making them feel like they're the one discovering the solution. It's brilliant.
The very first clue immediately takes all the obvious stuff off the table. No giant, clunky, brute force mechanics. This tells the reader that the solution is elegant. It's not about adding more muscle, it's about using more brain, which is exactly what a company obsessed with efficiency wants to hear.
This right here is a massive de-risking statement. NUX is basically saying, hey, you don't have to throw away your multi-billion-dollar rocket. My solution bolts on, it integrates, it makes what you've already built even better. An efficiency multiplier. You know, that's like the holy grail. A small tweak that unlocks huge gains across the whole system.
And boom, there it is, the intellectual hook. This brilliantly lays out the core idea of the pitch. The real innovation isn't some new gadget, it's a change in perspective. NUX is hinting that the breakthrough comes from finding one core belief that everyone else just accepted as a law of physics when it was really just a habit.
Next, NUX uses this really powerful tactic. They tell you exactly what their invention is not. Now, this might seem counterintuitive, but it's a genius way to build credibility. By clearing away all the common, boring ideas, NUX forces the reader to open their mind to something truly new.
Each of these is so important. No clunky machines, and that last one, no speculative physics. That is crucial. This isn't science fiction. It's grounded, it's practical, it's something you can build now. So with all the obvious answers gone, you can't help but ask yourself, well, what on earth could it be? So this is the point, right? This isn't some disruptive tech that means you have to tear everything down and start over. It's framed as the next logical step, an evolution. That makes the whole idea feel safer, more practical, and way easier to say yes to. It's innovation without the terrifying risk. So when you take a step back, you realize the real secret here isn't the technology, which we still know nothing about. The secret is the pitch itself. It's a masterclass in strategy, perfectly designed to hook the right people while keeping the valuable intellectual property under lock and key. Let's break down how it works.
This 5-step process builds a case that's almost impossible for a company like SpaceX to just ignore. Think about it. First, you build trust. Then, you plant one powerful seed of doubt. You guide their thinking with clues, you protect your secret sauce, and then you make it incredibly simple for them to take the next step. It's a flawless sequence.
This sentence is just a work of art. It projects total confidence, but with zero arrogance. By saying the right technical team, it shows respect for SpaceX's expertise, and at the same time, it protects the idea and creates this powerful fear of missing out. It's a masterstroke.
The letter doesn't end with a demand or a complicated diagram. Nope, it wraps up with one final, perfectly calibrated question that puts the ball squarely in their court. And notice what NUX'S doesn't do. They don't ask, "Can I get Elon on the phone?" They show professional courtesy, a real understanding of how a big company actually works. This final question is simple, it's direct, and it makes it so easy for whoever is reading this to just forward it to the exact right person. It's the perfect frictionless call to action.
And really, this brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. We may never find out what NUX'S invention actually was, but the lesson here isn't about rockets. It's about the incredible power of a well-aimed question. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't come from a new answer, but from challenging an old assumption that everybody else just accepts as fact. So the question for all of us is, what's ours?